Hey everybody, what's going on? Ghost Dragon 1182 here, back for another coffee talk, and in this one I'm going to do a little bit of ranting. I have long held the stance that Destiny is a fun yet flawed experience since I've first started playing the game. The movement, the way you traverse around the world, whether it be on foot or through the use of sparrows, and the gunplay are top notch. However, the loot system is completely fucking broken and is a problem that has been there since day one with this goddamn game. In the past, I've been fairly lenient because I've played games that have RNG-based loot systems, and I understand how they work. However, when I have 100 pairs of fucking Peregrine Greaves in my goddamn vault and it's starting to look like a fucking footlocker, it pisses me off. I don't know what made me snap and go over the tipping point. I don't know if it was hearing the Omnigul screech for the 100th fucking time in one day, because since there's no new PvE content, I've been farming that fucking strike for the Grasp of Malak. And in the span of a week, everybody I've run the strike with and farmed it, even the whole hillside tether her and kill her with solar, with the Raise Lighter exotic swords trick, everybody I've run that strike with has gotten the Grasp of Malak. Some of these people have gotten 2. I got 4 fucking Warlock bonds. There was a point in time in this game where I used to get excited when I'd get a drop. I'd see a gold Ingram pop out of a fucking Ultra after I popped the 3 of coins, and I'd think, oh cool, I'm gonna get something good and useful. It's boots. It's probably another pair of fucking Peregrine Greaves. Or gauntlets or helmets. I got every fucking exotic helmet in the goddamn game. I have one Mida multi-tool that I bought off Azure. There's people I play with. They've been trying to get guns like the Suros regime and shit like that, and they cannot get these guns to drop. And like I said, I understand it's RNG, but it doesn't feel completely random anymore. There's certain patterns that are starting to kind of pop up, I guess you could say. When every exotic engram I get to drop from an Ultra whenever I use a 3 of coins ends up being a pair of boots, which then ends up being a fucking pair of Peregrine Greaves. That's not random. It's infuriating. And then you've been farming a strike for a strike-specific drop that you can't seem to get. Your buddy jumps online, he's like, hey, I'll give you a hand. He runs a strike once and gets the goddamn drop you've been farming for 2 fucking hours for. It's infuriating. I got more treads upon stars than I know what to do with. I started dismantling them because I just stuck with the ones that had the really good perks that worked with my playstyle. Every other fucking strike-specific weapon's like, nah, we're not going to drop in your game. And that's I think the other thing, too, that's starting to really drive me fucking absolutely up the wall with this game is I've been helping people with their exotic swords, no time to explain the sleeper simulants, shit like that. And other flaws in this game are starting to really become apparent, like the new strikes. I fucking hate the new strikes that came out with the Taken King. The Darkblade strike being the sole exception because I really like the boss battle, except for when you're trying to get the sword. That's just fucking annoying. But the Saber Strike, I absolutely loathe the Saber Strike because that beginning part is such fucking bullshit, in the same way that the Shield Brothers fight, which could have been really interesting, is also bullshit when you do it as a Nightfall or when you do it for the Chaperone quest, because Bungie's idea, I guess, of increasing difficulty or making a challenging fight is sticking you in the middle of a fucking area with no cover and throwing hordes of enemies at you. That, to me, is not challenging. Give me a way to strategically approach the fight, instead of wanting to look up a YouTube video to figure out how to clip under a fucking map and sit under a war stat because I don't want to deal with the bullshit that's involved to try to get a fucking exotic. Now, I understand exotics should not be easy to obtain and there should be some degree of challenge to them. The Thorn was challenging. Getting the Void kills in the Crucible, killing Xylar, the Unwed, in the Fogoth strike, that stuff was challenging. Killing the Shield Brothers with a shotgun while there's hordes of Scions with Void shields trying to plug in the ass with their slug cannons or whatever the fuck it is, and you're playing with people that don't know how to deal with ad control, pisses you off. And there's no cover to try to regain your health, and the minute they hit you, by the time you realize you're surrounded, you're fucked. You can't get out of there. And I know people are going to be like, well, just play with better people, or yada 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 yada. This is a problem that's intrinsic to the design of the game, or the current state of the game, where, okay, for example, the Ballast Wars strike. As annoying as Ballast Wars was during year 1, being the giant bullet sponge rocket McDickface that he was, at least in that fight, if you got overrun because somebody didn't pay attention to the ads and some of the Cabal troops slipped through, you had places that you could take cover, take a moment, reevaluate the situation, and get back into the fight. You don't have that with the Warsat on the Saber Strike, especially if there's Fallen. Because the minute you try to take cover or reevaluate your situation, you're probably going to get fucking plugged by the goddamn the skiff. Same thing with the Shield Brothers Strike. There's no cover whatsoever. There's one little corner I found where you can kind of tuck yourself up in there. You can still get hit, but it gives you a minute to kind of reposition yourself, look at the threat ahead of you, and try to take out some of the ads. I don't know. I ran the raid before. The raid seems like it's probably the best designed aspect of the Taken King as far as the mechanics of it, being able to take cover if need be. And it's weird, I actually had an easier time staying alive in the raid than I do in some of these strikes. And the raid's supposed to be like the hardest fucking PvE content in the game. How does that work? I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm burnt out because I've been playing it a lot. Maybe because I am limiting myself to what specific weapons I am looking for now because I have the majority of what I want. I'm just getting frustrated because those drops seem so elusive. Possibly, maybe. But I mean, I'm not the only one that's suffering from this problem. Like I said, I got people that I play with that they can't get a last word to drop, and Jura hasn't sold it lately. And they're not year one players, so they don't have a year one, they can't buy the year two version for 150 marks out of the kiosk or anything like that. So like, and that even shuts off a quest to get another exotic. If they can't get a last word, they can't do the chaperone quest. And I don't know, the way this loot system is working is just completely fucking nuts. If I get one more pair of Peregrine Greaves, I'm probably going to just fucking snap my controller in half at this point in time. I don't even know anymore. But the bitch of it is it's still fun to just run around and shoot shit. And BS with your friends. And like the Crucible, I don't take the Crucible very seriously. So I had fun with Crimson Doubles a little bit until everybody started running Icebreakers and started running into the Vex Mythoclast a lot lately again all of a sudden, so that's kind of infuriating in Crucible matches to get hit by that. But for me, the game is one of those games that I enjoy playing because it's kind of like a beer and pizza game. There's times where I don't need to think too hard to play it. I kind of just go on autopilot, and then if I have to go into I guess you could call try-hard mode, then I will. But it's a game I can enjoy without having to be like at my best all the time. And there's aspects of the game though that just, I don't know, they just feel really flawed, especially like the Taken encounters on the different planets when the Zealots show up. There's a bounty this week that you have to kill this Baroness on Venus, and that fight just is fucking so poorly made because she spawns Taken captains, and if you're too close, you're gonna get overwhelmed and destroyed. If you're too far away, they just continuously spam those black Hadokens that they throw. And I don't know who. I like the aspect that these Taken enemies have some of the abilities that they do, but they really, especially lately, feel very, very spammy. And it didn't feel that way when the Taken King first dropped. It felt a little bit more fun and interesting. Whereas now, it's almost like the Taken Vandals can just continuously fire their line rifles without any recharge in between. The Taken captains, like I said, just continuously spam those fucking black Hadokens. And the fun that I was having with the game is quickly becoming irritating because that fun is being replaced with bullshit, essentially. And I don't know. I've stepped away and I've played other games in the meantime to try to break up how much time I have been spending on Destiny. And there's a whole laundry list of other flaws that can be pointed out about the game. But overall, okay, I've said in the past, I can look past certain flaws if I have fun with the gameplay. And for the most part, I still do have fun with the gameplay. But there's certain things going forward that I hope are addressed in this update that's coming out in the spring that brings that fun back. Because at the rate we're going, I don't know if I can hold out for a major PvE update. I'll still play Iron Banner and things like that, but for that chance at a Finale's Peril that I'll probably never fucking get, maybe I'll keep running the Omnigul Strike too. I don't know. But I just wanted to rant a little bit. Don't take this too seriously by any stretch of the imagination. I just wanted to vent a little bit and run my mouth and kind of point out some things that were frustrating me with the game lately. But like always, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Alright? Have a good one. And if you need a grasp of Malik, look me up on PS4 and run the strike with me, because it's pretty likely you'll get it and I won't.